In this video, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite fonts on Canva. If you've used Canva before, you know there's a ton of fonts you can scroll through, and it's so hard to find good fonts. I've done that work for you. I've looked at all the fonts on Canva, and these are my top 32 fonts for creating t-shirt designs. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juno with Detour Shirts. I've been designing and selling t-shirts online since 2005, so I've been using fonts a lot for designing t-shirts, and nothing is more important than your font. If you're writing text on your t-shirt, the font is super important to get that right. You want a font that's big and bold, easy to read, and kind of conveys the message. If you're doing kind of a vintage t-shirt, you want your font to be vintage. You want your font to be rough. If you want that rough look, you may want to look for that. You may want a script font for things like that as well. So maybe you're selling a Mother's Day shirt or something like that. You may want a script font, especially for Valentine's and things like that. So the font is very important. And on Canva, there's hundreds of fonts. You can keep scrolling and scrolling. And so that's what I did. I went on Canva and looked at all the free fonts. There's a ton more if you pay for Canva Pro. There's a lot more fonts there, but these are just going to be the free fonts on Canva. And I scrolled through. It took me a while to find some of them, and these are my top 32 favorite fonts, and I'm going to divide them into different categories. So you got your sans serif, you got your serif, you got your distress text, and some miscellaneous ones, fun ones, and things like that. So stay with me in this video. You're going to want to stick to the end so you can see all of them, and at the end I'll tell you what are my absolute favorite, like top 10, top 8 fonts on there. And these, again, if you're using Canva, I'm going to show you the names of these so you can just type it in so you don't have to go scrolling through them. There's no real good way to do your favorites unless you're on Canva Pro. Then you can save your favorites, but as far as free, you can make a board for it, and that's what I did. So you'll see that I actually made a artboard for it, and so you can just save that as one of your artboards and then reference that every time. So let's get into Canva right now, and I'll show you exactly what I did. So here we are on Canva. You can see I'm using free Canva. And like I said, I did one of my artboards or one of my designs. I called it fonts right here. And you can change the name of these by clicking on this right here if you wanted to call it something else. I'm going to call it fonts for t-shirts, right? Like that. And then it'll just always be here until you delete it. You actually would have to go in here and move it to the trash or something like that. So let's click on this, and so you can see my fonts. So I'm going to start. I have multiple pages of this, and you can change the page title too. I should have done that. Let's see. Let's do sans serif. Yeah, cool. So what I look for a sans serif is a nice thick font, either wide or condensed. Condensed you're going to need for longer words, right? And then for shorter words, you can use this wide one like this horizon. So Anton is this one right here. It's a lot like veneer, but it's not distressed. So you can see nice and thick and bold. I like that. The next one is League Gothic. Not as thick, but still pretty thick and easily readable. So it's a nice contrast to these two. This one's thick, this is a little thinner. Passion 1 regular. I like that it has upper and lower case. And look at these. These are nice and bold as well. So I like that. This bungee right here. This is a nice thick font that you can use. Kind of a medium. It's not too condensed, but it's not super wide either. And then this one right here, I don't know if you say it Lovelo or Lovelo, but this one is nice sans serif. I like that it's like a perfect circle for these O's, so that's really nice. And this is, I believe this one's all caps as well, and so is this one Horizon. So if you have some shorter words that you want to stretch out, this font is already wide. So if you're doing, like 3 or 4 letter words, I would suggest using something wide like this and then combine it with something condensed like this if you're gonna do a longer word, right, to kind of match it. So those are my picks for sans serif. And the way you can find this is if you go in here and just start typing it out. So if you typed out bungee, you can see right there, there's bungee. And bungee has shade and outline, which is really cool too, but that's how you would find it. So write these down or save these or take a snapshot, and then you can find these every time, and or you can make your own kind of page like this. So that's sans serif. The next one, I'm going to scroll down here, are my serif fonts. I don't have too many serif fonts. I don't like using so many serif fonts. I really gravitate towards the sans serif of the two. But I do like a thick slab serif. So you can see these serifs right here are nice and blocky. So this one in chunk 5, I like that. It just gives it some good weight. So this Shrikhand font, I like that it has that like vintage feel, and the serifs are kind of light here, but it's just a cool font. It reminds me of like the 70s font, 80s font. Then you got these two slab serif fonts, Alpha Slab 1 and Chunk 5. These two are very similar, big, thick slab fonts. This one's more of it is a slab font as well, this Sports World. It's all caps, but it looks more sporty just because it's just a little more blocky than these, and it's all caps too, so if you want this one. And then I thought I'd throw this one in here. This one's also a nice 70s font, Garbata Black. It has very little serifs, you can see right there, very, very tiny serifs, but it counts as a serif font, I guess. So that's sans serif and serif. These two kind of are the staples. And now I'm going to go into more of like the handwritten stuff and the script fonts. So here are some good script fonts that I like. I like to look for really thick script fonts. If I'm going to use script fonts, they need to be easy to read. So some of these are easier to read than others. And some of them I just like here, even though they're kind of thin, I just love the look of it, the brush script. So if you're gonna use some of these, make sure that they're bigger words because they're thinner. I would gravitate more for the thick ones, but if you have something like a short word, you may get away with these. So first is this Wedges, nice big thick script font. Lumious brush also is a nice thick script font. This Bukhari script, I see it a lot on Canva. They like to push this one, and I think it's a pretty good script. It's really easy to read, so I like this one. Nice weight there. This one is kind of has like a distress filter inside of it. You can see it's kind of that brush inside, and this one's called Better Together script. I think this will do really well for like Mother's Day and things like that. This one's could be hard to read, but I just like the look of it. And this is WC Mono Negro Bode, and you can see nice thick and thin brush strokes. I like how it goes up here and then kind of thins out here, so gives it some variety. This Lemon Tuesday, I just really like this. This is great for like journaling or something like that, but if I think with the right words, this could do really well. Make sure that they're probably shorter words. You don't want long words for this one because it's so thin. So if you can make this one bigger on your t-shirt, that's better. And this one just has a good feeling too, feeling passionate, kind of similar to Lemon Tuesday. I would use these in kind of those situations where you want a script font and kind of want that feeling of brush script. So these are my top picks for script. Again, lots more variety. You got the really thick one and the thin ones down here. So use caution when using the thin ones, but I think these can do really well. So let's go to page 4. And these are the rough ones. So they all kind of have some rough edges or rough inside. This one I found, I really like this one. This is nice and rough. This could be good for like a vintage t-shirt or, you know, motorcycles or even surfing or something like that, activities, outdoors. I think this one of my favorite finds when I'm looking through Canva. This one's pretty good too. Vertical rough, you can see the rough edges. So I like that. It's kind of a sans serif, but with the roughness to it. Fibre too is also a surprise. I like this one right here. Nice thick font and got the brush on here. Gagarin, also pretty good, nice and thick again. This one's not as thick, but I like the roughness in it. So I put this one on here. Boulder's nice and thick too. Another sans serif with kind of a rough edge. And then Rogue, I really like this Rogue one. It's nice and thick. very similar to this Lava Pro, but everything's online. The thing about this Lava Pro, it's kind of up and down, very rough. Even the baseline is rough, whereas this one, it's all caps, but it's, you know, top and bottom are the same. They don't kind of move up and down. So those are my rough ones right here. If you're doing some kind of distressed look or rough look, kind of vintage look, I would say use any of these right here when you're trying to do some vintage design on t-shirts. So next are my handwritten fonts. So these are ones that kind of look like you took a brush and drew it. Sensei has some upper and lower case here. Looks like you took a nice pen to do it, like a fat pen. This one has like a brush, look like you took an actual paintbrush and did it. I use this all the time, Edo. Nice font there. And these some other ones, like nice variety. I love the thick and thin of this Lalu here. And Bobby Jones is just nice handwritten kind of sans serif, but kind of, you know, with a brush. And then Lazy Dog kind of gives it that fun feeling. So some of these are nice and fun and they're handwritten. These also I think will do well for like maybe kids shirts or, you know, 100 days of school, that kind of thing. Have fun with these. These are some fun handwritten fonts that can give your t-shirt designs kind of that extra boost and make it stand out. So speaking of fun, this last one right here are just kind of miscellaneous fun ones. This monotone I found when I first started Canva. Nice vintage inline font. This is a really good one if you kind of do more of the 70s look. I think this is good. Jeepers is great for Halloween. It's probably, that's the only time you can use Jeepers, but I wanted to put it in here because Halloween comes up every year, and so I think that will do really well. Bernier, I love that they put this, you know, little spikes in it. That's really unique, so that can stand out. I think this would be really good for like people who do motorcycles or things like that, the kind of rougher look. Borsok, nice fun font, nice rounded edges. That can give a playful feel to your designs. So can this one, Luckiest Guy. I love that big font, kind of thick font, but very playful, right? And then this one, Wedges, also very fun and playful with the rounded edges. And this one's also fun, a lot longer name, but it has that rounder edges, kind of like the Valken font that I use a lot for my kawaii stuff. I think this would do really well for like kawaii stuff. Any of these round fonts would probably do good for kawaii. This one and this one and especially this one right here. So those are my fun fonts if you want to make your t-shirt designs kind of a little more fun, or if you want to go kind of that 70s route with this monotone, that would be good. And of course, for Halloween, Jeepers, save that one. So page 7 here are kind of my VIPs. These are my top, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I probably should put one more for top 10. Let's go looking. Let's see. Gotta get one more here. I don't know, did I do a regular, is Anton in there? Yeah, let's put Anton. This is a nice, just basic thing. I think you could use this a lot. So I'm gonna copy this and put it in my top 10 all the way down here. Okay, Anton, you made the cut. All right, so these are my new top 10 fonts on Canva. And if you want to save these, take a snapshot. I think these you can't go wrong with any of these. Of course, they're situational. You don't want to use monotone for everything, and you don't want to use Lava Pro Rough for everything. It depends on the t-shirt design that you're gonna make. So whatever your t-shirt design is, kind of audience you're going for, you could use one of these to do it. So just to scroll over really quick again, these are my top 32 fonts on Canva. You can take a look as I scroll through them. And then the last page is just my top 10. There you go. So that is it for this video. Hopefully this video was super helpful for you. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. Before I end this video, I wanted to ask you a question of the day, and the question of the day is related to this video, and that is, what is your favorite font on Canva? I showed you my 32. If there's one of those that is your favorite, or if there's something else that's your favorite, make sure to leave that in the comments. Thanks again for watching and for staying all the way to the end. And if you want to learn more about Canva, make sure to click on these videos right here. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.